Hey guys, my name is Dale. I'm playing VR today for the very first time. Yeah, okay. All right. Well, we'll get going and then we can just,
Exactly.
you'd be like, stop, say that again, do something different. Yeah. Hi, I'm Dale Baker. I'm a professional drummer and musician living here in Durham, North Carolina. I teach out of my private teaching studio, Durham Drum Lessons. I am best known for my work with the band Sixpence None the Richer. We were known for our hit songs, Kiss Me and There She Goes. They referenced it in Saturday Night Live, like what is today? Today's Sunday. So like last Saturday, like not yesterday, but last Saturday, there was a bit and the dude singing Kiss Me in one of the skits, and it's like, that was from like 1999, like how long ago was that, right? Yeah, I mean, to have been in high school, dreaming of like, wouldn't that be cool to see myself on TV or to be on one of those TV shows or to be in a music video, 10 to 12 years later, it's like, I am in one of those videos and my song is being played all over the world. So I grew up in a small town in Missouri, and that town had a variety of music shows similar to Myrtle Beach or Gatlinburg. This town was called Branson. Watching these performers in my town, I said that they look like they're having a blast. So I thought, I want to do that. That seems like a really great way to live. I met a drummer named Greg Bissonette, and he was just fresh out of college playing in a band at the time. And he said, there's one place to go. You got to go to Texas to this one school. This is where I went, and it's amazing. So I thought, all right, I'm going to go to Texas. I'm going to study at the same place that my hero studied at. Yeah, so I don't know a whole lot about VR, so I've not done any music in the VR world. My expectations, I've got a pretty low expectation of it being something that feels like playing the real thing. I think there's potential, before you can play something, it's important that you can visualize that you can play it. So a lot of times when I'm practicing, I might just air drum what I want to play. And so I can see that VR would be a really great way. Sometimes I don't have a drum set to practice on. I'm learning a song really quickly right before a show, and so I have to sort of imagine, okay, there's my cymbals and there's my toms, and I'm looking at my music. So I could imagine that VR would be similar in that I'm visualizing where my hands are going and what I'm doing. The other thing about drums is that it's a physical thing. So when you smack the snare, you can feel it in your arms, or you can use your fingers or wrists or your arms. How your posture is important. So I'm curious how VR affects that as well. Before I play VR, Paradiddle had an online competition, and I'm going to review some of those entries, and I'll let you know what I think.
I love it.
Is that good? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so just my first thoughts are the timing is slightly, there seems to be some latency, so I don't know if that's part of the virtual reality experience, like, hey, I'm hitting the cymbal now, but there's a slight millisecond delay. Yeah, it's fascinating. I'm gonna keep listening to a little more. Okay. The other thing that I'm curious about, so I can see the sticks because there's like little vapor trails following the stick motions, but what I can't see is what the foot's doing. It looks like there's these circles underneath the drum set that correspond with the bass drum, so maybe that's what the foot's supposed to be doing. And then just from watching this, it doesn't look like this is a real drummer, just because of how they're going about responding to the music. Which is neither good nor bad. It's just, I can tell, like, oh, this isn't a trained drummer. This is someone that's having a great time playing the song. So, shall I check out another song? Oh, I didn't realize it was going to have like the actual drummer in the video. So the guy's like pounding away. Okay, this is really cool. Yeah. Okay, so this guy knows what he's doing. Like he's got to be a real drummer, right? And then visually too, in this one there is a bass drum. I could see it. That the previous one I couldn't see the bass drum. So and there doesn't seem to be as much of a latency thing. So I think that's just speaks to this guy's ability or his knowledge of the song and the parts that he's playing, because he's playing it appears that he's playing all the right drums in all the right places at the right time. So yeah, this is cool. So just watching the video of him playing, like you can see the physicality that, you know, he's leaning forward, he's really getting into it. Just listening to the sounds too, they all sound like they're at the same velocity. So what I'm curious about is, and this is a pretty heavy song, so the sounds match the energy of the song. I'm curious if VR has more dynamic abilities. When you're recording drums, there's a lot of dynamics that go into the performance, and then when you mix the drums, you can adjust those dynamics to be more in your face or more subtle. For this kind of music, the drums kind of need to always be in your face. I'm going to check out some more of this, if that's all right, because this is pretty cool. Okay, so with this style of music, this is an oversimplification, but usually the hands have it easy and the feet are doing all the heavy lifting as far as the rhythms go and the syncopation goes. So this one has a video of the guy playing, which is great. I can see his hands, but the hands that's not the difficult part so far. It's the feet. And I wish that the camera was showing his feet. The VR view, the virtual view, you can see a little bit of the bass drum, and you can see that it's moving in time to what the rhythm is. I would just like to see if that's what he's actually doing. But this is pretty cool though. So then that makes me wonder if he's doing extra stuff with his feet, but it sounds more like I'm hearing toms, so I'm not sure where those extra sounds are coming from. Anyway, it's curious. Cool. Yeah.
As soon as you hit that snare that says normal,
yep,
then you're basically started.
Okay. All right. So here we go. So normal.
Yep.
Ready to go? Boom. So the experience is, okay, I get it, there's a hand-eye coordination component in that the things I'm hitting are supposed to be somewhat related to what you would play on a drum set. But I'm also aware of the music and the drum beat for the music. If you were to remove the things I'm hitting, I could probably jam out with that song, just fine. But I'm trying to hit these things that are flying at me, and it's not apparent to me what sounds they are. It's so weird. Like, yeah, it'd be cool if you could be in this world with me, so you could be coaching me, because I feel like maybe I'm hitting these at the right time, but I don't hear. And it might be that the volume is turned down, but. Oh yeah, so that was an interesting one. So that was obviously the last note of the song, and it was like a cymbal was coming here, and then there's a drum here. So my guess is that it was either drum cymbal, but I think I played cymbal drum because it looked like the cymbal came first. But now that I'm thinking about it, that was probably supposed to be drum and cymbal at the same time. I wasn't really clear that was what I was supposed to be doing. But again, it's just I'm not used to the interface. So that was fun. I had never tried that before. That reminded me a lot of like the Guitar Hero type games where you know, you're watching a screen and then you've got pads in front of you that you're trying to sort of, you know, the hand-eye coordination thing is super important. So obviously as a drummer, my hand-eye coordination is pretty dialed in. However, in this world, in the virtual reality world, I'm fighting against a couple things. One is my ability to listen to the music and to want to respond musically to the music, right? So typically, you know, I'm watching a conductor or watching my bandmates or reading the music for the song that I'm playing. And that's where my hand-eye coordination is lined up, the metrical time. The metrical time in this is you're hearing the music, but these drums are floating, and you know there's an orb that lets you know when the right time to hit the drum is going to be. And so me second guessing what that orb and what that rhythm is going to be gets in my way. And so if I could forget everything I know about traditional Western musical notation, which is a linear sort of aspect of time, and just be, you know, I guess this could be some sort of a practice of some sort, you know, like Zen. You know, can I get centered enough and just forget everything that I know about music and just listen to the tutorial and, okay, when the thing lights up, that's when you hit it. I think I could be a lot more successful. But because it is a musical game, I want to bring my skills as a musician to it. But what I found is when I have played Guitar Hero, those games, and same thing happened with this game, I'm horrible at it, you know. So the people that don't have a musical background, that come to this with a clean slate, I think probably have a leg up on me as far as that goes. Yeah. But the potential for this, for like, drums are a really loud instrument. If you want to learn how to play drums, you need an interface, and typically that means a large drum set, which requires space, and because it's loud, it requires sound isolation. You know, if you don't have that, then you can't really play drums. There are laptop, you know, tabletop drum sets that you can get, but that doesn't simulate the same thing. This virtual reality thing is pretty cool in that it does simulate the arm movement and the body movement and sort of leaning into it. So the physicality is there. I think what I'd like to see is something that's more conducive to training people how to play drums. So instead of the video game aspect being so strong, I could see that there could be a market for teaching you how to play eighth notes. So here's the cymbal and it's coming, and you're trying to hit that on an eighth note, and there's feedback in the game telling you, hey, you are playing eighth notes, congratulations. Now let's try another subdivision. Let's try 16th notes, and let's do 2 hands at a time. And so instead of having multiple drums and cymbals coming at you, starting with one cymbal, you know, and which is what I do as a drum teacher, is I start you on a single pad or a single cymbal, and then we integrate the other parts of the drum beat into what you're doing. And so I could see, you know, for virtual reality, starting with a cymbal and either, you know, doing it in this sort of vertical dimension of time or the linear dimension of time, getting you to develop good timing practices that way. And I think in doing that, if that was also tied in with the song, you would be developing your ability to hear that part in the song. So we're just playing the hi-hat here, and we're going to play that for the next 3 minutes during the song. Great. Okay, now let's work on your foot, your bass drum, or the timing of your snare drum. And I could see that being really beneficial, and that it would be analogous to a physical drum set once you got the ability or the chance or the opportunity or the space to actually play, you know, an actual drum set. So I enjoyed this. This was a lot of fun, and the potential for this is huge for education. Obviously, video game, like, this is a really great game, but I see this as more potential for actual, you know, teachers like myself, and for others that are out there doing what I do, which is teach drum lessons. So thanks so much.